Top of the evening, guys. It is the I Am Urban Malachi-RESEAN show, and am here to bring you guys an absolute another great one. Guys, I have reverse engineered the perfect strategy for real estate. I think this is something that I'm just using, but if you guys have heard this one before somewhere else, you guys let me know if you ever heard this one before. Uh, Guys, this is day number 32 of our 90-day cold calling challenge. I look forward over the next 90 days bringing to you guys knowledge and value that you guys can utilize inside of your own business if you're already inside of real estate, and or if you're just getting started, getting your feet wet, learning how things are operating here in real estate. Super easy means and fundamental at best for you guys to gain the insights and interest of how this all works. To even find out if this is something that works for you. You hear a lot about real estate and how all of the fun and facts that come out of real estate, but you also want to know the insider, the grits, and the valor that comes from it first and foremost. So I want to make sure I bring this to you, none other than by Eva Mirror Express Homes LLC, in which all rights are reserved by them. And I would like to first and foremost roll out the insights for you guys. We are continuously building these projects, videos out. As they roll out, we're bringing them at the best keynotes of possibilities of what we are given with the opportunities we're given with. So we are solving property owners' challenges in the means and with individuals who are dealing with, or pardon me, we're dealing with boxes with tops on them, with individuals inside of them who are facing challenges. By all means, I want to make sure that I first and foremost do the housekeeping. If you guys are catching this for the first time, please like, comment, subscribe, and ask questions if you have them. I seek to continuously bring these videos to you guys in a fashionable manner that is as they come on a basis. Over the timing of the 90 days challenge, we're going to continuously critiquing our craft as we go. It just seems a few bottlenecks that we needed to hash out. So if you guys are catching the live stream, grateful for you guys to be here. Appreciate you guys for coming in. If you are catching the replays, a lot of this information is probably going to be snip cut. But what you guys can expect over the next 90 days is consistent growth and just building and prospering. Had a few bandwidth checks that we needed to do, some sprucing up, some toolboxes that needed to be dived into. Just didn't know we had some of this stuff in our arsenal, but good enough we had it in our arsenal, resourceful, and we were able to quickly grab exactly what we needed so that it worked best for us. So without furthermore, what we're going to be doing is reaching out to property owners who are facing challenges in which are dealing with either one of the challenges that we come across that we deal with here in Eva Mirror Express Homes on a daily basis. Just giving you guys our experience. That's all we can really give you is an experience that works for us, strategies that work for us. We don't want to give you guys any fluff. That's just not something that works for us. The only real what works for us is face-to-face confrontation with individuals who are facing challenges, and consequently we're able to solve those challenges in exchange for the property and or control of the property. So what we do is we look to upheaval the challenges in which they're facing that are burdensome on their shoulders. And many times those come into factors of pre-foreclosure, tax delinquencies, not short sales. They haven't got to that one yet. They're either divorce properties or probate properties, or you name it. There's several different properties in which we deal with. However, our main line is to solve the property owner's challenge, and that's what we are in the people's business. So without further ado, I see you guys are still coming in. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. Hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic evening. I think it's evening. It's about 7:30ish. I don't know, wherever you guys are viewing me out in the world, whether you are on the West Coast or you are on the East Coast, or if you're in Argentina, or if you're in Brazil, or if you're in Japan. I don't know if you can have these videos in Japan. I don't know. Or maybe China. Who knows? I don't know if you guys are supposed to be watching me. But if you are watching me, wherever you are watching me, we're just grateful to have you guys this evening. Appreciate it. that you guys are showing so much love that this is absolutely new to me. So it's growing onto me, and I'm adaptive quickly. So like that stepchild, I'm just growing onto it. So it's new to me. So as we continuously grow, I do look forward to bringing more values for you guys. Just stick around a little longer. You guys pick up something that you haven't heard before, something new experience, and or something of an opportunity for you to pick up if this is new for you. I'm speaking to my 9-to-5ers. This is it for all you ultra wealthy guys. But if you're more power that you guys are hearing, because this can hone into some of your businesses as well, and make it a super successful. And I'm just tapping into those networks and just allowing to be solvency for you guys, to allow that opportunity for you guys as well. So furthermore, this is for my 9-to-5ers. This is for those who got their 401k stocked away, who has those fundings that just needs to find their way into a vehicle that can actually execute and perform in a manner that is grossing their revenue higher, so when they retire, they can retire comfortably. This is also for those individuals in which who don't have a retirement or seek to have a retirement, and in fact they've gotten to an age where they had to pick up an extra job or something, or some kind of extra hobby to make a passive revenue. So I do want to speak to those individuals. These videos are for you. These 90 days challenges spoke to me, resonated with me personally, and wanted to make sure that you guys were able to have an accessible, resourceful tool that I would have wished that I had when I got started. So this is the reasoning for the 90-day challenge. I'm super excited, as I said, for these videos to continuously roll out. As they come to me, I'm telling you guys, they come. So every time I get a new idea, it's like, aha! I get epiphany. It's like, man, I gotta get this out to the individuals. But I want to keep it to one video per day. Over the time, we're gonna be gradually and deeper and diving into certain sectors of parts. As much as I would love to give it all in one video, but it does nothing but overwhelm you guys, and I don't think that'd be valuable for you guys. So I think I'll just take my time and over incrementally to bring this information to you guys, so that it'd be best benefits for both of us. Just so I don't have to be waiting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to see if the videos are up. Guys, I think today was like one of my best days, and today's not even over, so it just gets better from here. Absolutely phenomenal day thus far. I got a ton of stuff done today. Sometimes you just gotta take a little break. Just it may not be work related, but it's still work related. I still took phone calls today. It was so lovely. Took a few phone calls, even on a leisure day. But it wasn't too work intense. It dealt with work, but it wasn't work intensive. And then other individuals who, of course, are gonna call me anyways because they need me. I can only reserve myself. I am the only individual who can reserve the I am Urban Malachi-RESEAN. But for all my other people, for my people who need me, I'm always gonna be there for them because they're always there for me. And if they're not there for me, I don't need to be there for them. So I'm pretty sure you guys can understand that because you guys have relationships like that in your life. So I'm going to be there. They're going to be here. So I just want to make sure that we have the set in stones here of how this really works. So without further more, what we're going to be doing this evening is diving into doing phone calls. What you guys are going to be hearing, and I want you to really hone into how I'm utilizing the reverse engineering methodology. You guys want to know what that reverse methodology is? Stick around. You're going to hear more about it. But I'm just going to give you guys a little short snippets of what it's going to be. Just to keep you guys eyeing. Hear me when I say this. When you're telling individuals that you're going to buy their home, okay, when you're buying their home, are you purchasing it with your own money, your own cash, your own credit? Are you buying it with your own cash, your own credit? Are you paying for your house with your own? I want to know if you the viewer, you the individual who are listening to me, I'm not asking about your uncle, your auntie, your solicited other friend. I want to know your perspective only, experience-wise. Who are you going to when you are buying your properties? And if you say anyone outside of yourself, I want you to pause and reflect and just ponder on that thought of the reasoning of why. Why are you the individual in which are paying for that property? And what means are you paying for that property? Are you paying in the means of Federal Reserve notes? Are you paying in the means of gold? Are you paying in the means of silver? Are you paying in the means of credit? If there's a certainty that I can have and hone into it, is that I do not personally utilize any of my own cash, my own credit to fund any transactions that occur inside of AmeriExpress Homes. So I can say that the fundings that occur aren't coming from me. However, the acquisition seemingly so calls for a reaction, an action to cause a reaction. Therefore, I have to sign for. Now, in all things to be considered, when I'm reserving the rights for signing on their behalf, it's only simply because they have to make an action, right? Follow me here. This is a storyline. I want you guys to get it because it's a short story, gets to the point, and you don't want to miss it because if you miss it, it's gone. Okay? So you're going to have to play this one over again. You're going to have to reiterate it again. You're going to have to define it. You're going to have to go out, buy a dictionary, read it. And if you already got a dictionary, go get it off the shelf, wipe it off, because I'm pretty sure you haven't used it in a while, but it's a super simple reasoning of why. Is it because you just may not have had the information to, or just the lack of knowledge to? It's just ignorance, or it's just foolishness, because you may know it already. But however, it just seems to me that individuals use their own money, their own cash, their own credit, right? Cash. It's just money. What do you consider money? Money, currency. That's what we're talking here. What's the conversation? Money. It's not. We're talking small amounts of money. This is not the conversation. Please exit left. This is not for you. Small mind, small money, small bank accounts, small stigmas, low energy vibes. Can't deal with you guys. Just that way. Exit the door right. Okay. Everybody else, this is for my overworked, underpaid, 9-to-5ers, 10-to-10ers, individuals who are tired of waking up early in the mornings, who seems as though that this is the only way that they've ever known to do it, but they need an extra means of actually getting it done. I'm talking to you. Why? Because the means in which you're performing just may possibly be the reasoning of why you are performing in that manner. And if you were provided with the information, I think you would do a lot more of critiquing. And with provided information, you're going to be using this information a lot more keen other than a criteria or a individual that I can come across that has a quote that has stated, and I'm speaking in reference to none other than I can possibly bring best to thoughts of how to best describe this would be it took me a little moment to really think this one all the way because I think I got it in the back of my head, but I gotta pull it out sometimes. It's a file cabinet. You gotta keep things organized because I want to make sure that I have them chronologically in order, right? So none other than the is he? No, I don't suppose he said that. No. Rather to earn one. No. This is deep. This is deep. This is guys. This is getting deep. This is gonna get deep. It's gonna get really deep. It's gonna get deep. You guys are gonna gain some knowledge. Just follow all the way through with me. I'm going somewhere with this, and I just want you guys to gain the insights of where I'm going. Follow the experience. Okay. There's a power in what this is keenness and called, okay? And later video, we'll talk about the reasoning of why I use this methodology, okay? Super simple. There's a saying that's just floating around. There's a rumor and there's a means of a quotation of when you utilize the access of networking to other individuals in which you can provide a service, and rather than you providing the service to 1,000 individuals, in fact, hundreds of individuals, then rather than having a solid 100 individuals, You guys know you guys know who I'm referencing to? No? Still not there yet? Okay. Fine, 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 fine. Okay, all right, all right. I have prolonged it to the extent of which it can go. John D. Rockefeller has stated that there is better to, I would rather my own efforts. You want to know why John D. Rockefeller stated that? He had a very profound ways of placing certain quotations in his pretty intelligible mind. However, it's a super simple concept because you can gain more, you can get more done in this sensibility than what you will from on your own. So when I go out and I acquire properties, I'm not utilizing my own money, people, because the rich don't get rich by just using their own money. They don't just have a boatload of cash sitting off in a wad, off in some offshore account that's just sitting there collecting mold. No, currency is like the sea, like the water, the flow, the energy that is occurring. So when you're dealing with money, I want you guys to think of energy. So when you're buying properties, you're converting your energy into a means of property. When you make a manifestation, you're making a means of manifestation of the energy that is in upon something else, someone else. So I'm taking the money from out of their pocket and put it in my pocket. That is energy that's placing it in their pocket from my, in their pockets from mine. That's a transaction of exchange. What money do they need from me? What money do I need from them? Maybe I need a control or real estate. I need the actual property. So we're not stagnant on the mindset of what's getting exchanged. We know what's getting exchanged. The reality is that the control is what's best needed. When a deed holder, safety patrol, as we called them in the previous several videos. If you haven't checked out the other 36 videos, I think you should probably start with one of those videos first and foremost, and then come into these videos, right? Because it gets a little bit more detailed, and we're gonna have a little bit more of an advanced structuring of this here. We're gonna set up an advanced course. We're gonna do a beginner's course. All the beginner courses will probably start off with the super simple, we're dealing with properties with boxes that have tops on them with individuals inside of them, the super simple stuff. So we could go out and find Mr. J. Joe, and you guys know my favorite buyer, Mr. J. Joe. He buys properties galore. And guys, what else is Mr. J. Joe doing? Can you believe that Mr. J. Joe is going to close on all our real estate properties because we're going to save him time, energy, and money? What does all this have to do with John D. Rockefeller? Because we are solving property owners' challenges. We are actively performing on a means in which requires a reaction beyond. So when we're making phone calls, I want you guys to try this reverse engineering number one. Reverse engineering number one, because get these down, because I'm not going to get them all out until the very, very, very end. And I just want this. You may have to just reverse this, rewind this back a few times until you get it. Just so we're completely clear and fair here, guys. It's only fair, right? So, number one, are you talking to buyers? Who are buyers? We're buyers. We are buyers. We're the number one buyer. We're the biggest buyer. We gotta buy into our belief that we're finding individuals who are capable of closing on these real estate deals. Right? Super simple. Want to get straight to the point with you guys. I told you guys that I don't have a lot of time here. Don't want to flip around. We got several days ahead of us, and I gotta make sure that you guys get this content because we can't take all 90 days to get this. Gotta get it in these coming days that we have here, and gotta get this straight to the point. So super simple here. We are the buyers, straight and direct. Okay, we are paid in direct proportion of this total amount of value that we provide to the economy. If you're not calling individuals who are proactively having a wad of cash in their bank account, water cash on them, right? First and foremost, individuals who can be placed in positions whereas you are closing on, say you have a individual who needs to move immediacy, who has a property that's for sale and the value of the property is $150,000. Let's keep the numbers super simple here, all right? They need to move like yesterday. They're dealing with the divorce. They're tired of dealing with the spouse. They're just up and ready to go. They've had it. This conniving individual cannot give them any more of a leadway, so they're just going to take the matters in their own hands. Life happens. No one's there to judge. All right? But we will make a rightful judgment. The means in doing so, and enactment of doing so, is to transfer the energy in which what it will take for that individual who needs to make the immediacy move from where they are to where they want to get to. It's simply called growth, guys. Let's short, sweet, to the point. So the growth in between that, what we need to do is figure out what that individual needs at the key points of them needing that value. Once we have the key points of what they need for that value, then we can enact what monetary value that they need from it. Because of course, they're not just going to get up and leave and just have no means of wanting to ever deal with this again. I mean, by all means, it happens. It does happen. Individuals do get in a position where they're just upfront frustrated, but there's also a monetary on the other ends of the spectrum in which they end up paying for anyhow. It's like a hidden tax or something, like a hidden bill, like inflation, like inflated tax. It's just there for that purpose, all intents purposes. We are seeking to solve that challenge. So if that individual, Miss Sarah Sue, you guys know Miss Sarah Sue, you've heard Miss Sarah Sue. If you haven't checked out, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't checked out the first 35 other videos, you might want to check those first. Start there. The first 35, start there. The beginner course is probably about the main meat and potatoes that you guys want to try out first. I think the meat's pretty tender, but you might want to try it. It's pretty darn good. Then what you want to do is you want to get to a point of accessing what it is, what challenges she's facing. So you're not solving the surface challenge of just the divorce. You want to find out what is the necessity of moving. Is there a means in which you could solve Miss Sarah Sue's property for the means? And I got to wrap this up here because we are really shy on time this evening. We are solving Miss Sarah Sue's challenge, who may just need $4,000, $5,000, guys, to move with the immediacy. That means we're going to buy the box truck, but we're not driving it. We may be paying for the storage, but we're not going and putting our names in it. Guys, I'm telling you stuff that I have done. And I'm telling you, I won't say short, but as we are going to place this in a position where you're going to have all of this written information inside of an agreement, right? What you're going to then do is transfer that information, conversion. See how the currency's changed now, guys? We're going to transfer and convert the means that she needs so that she can move on, relinquishing you the property, taking the burden off her shoulders, and providing you it now. What are you going to do about the burden now? Super simple answer, right? You are going to take that burden, find an individual. This could be family, friend, acquaintance, anyone who can bring you the $4,000, $5,000 that can close it. Who knows 10 people who have $500? Raise your hand. You know 10 people that have $500 in the bank. You know, average American has less than $500 in their bank account. Just super clear. I think that's absolutely impenetrably rude to say, but I think it's just something that has to be said nowadays. Because if it's not just too bargaining of a notation to make, I think it's just something that we just trifling should not say, because it's something that we need to hear. Those things can't happen. You guys heard it here first. Recording is a beautiful thing because here's what we can do. We can rewind it back. Yes, less than 60% of Americans have less than 500. What about that 40% that do? Do they want to make 10% on their money? How bad do you need to change your circumstance? Focus on the challenge. So the challenge is Miss Sarah Sue wants to get out of her challenge. She wants the burden lifted off her shoulders. She wants to get through it. She wants to get through the challenge of getting out of her circumstance. What is the means of her doing so? Super simple. Box truck, moving guys, whatever she can think of under the sun. She makes the rules. She's gonna tell you exactly what she needs. All you're gonna do is fulfill on that exact excerpt of what she's fill in the blank of what she's telling you. And when you fulfill on it, what you're then gonna do is, because you know that this property is valued at 150,000 because you did your due diligence, you reverse engineered, you went and found a realtor who can provide you with the numbers, and of course you can use your own due diligence. We're gonna be talking about that. I'm gonna have a completely separate video about this. Right? Critique. The keynote in this is we are solving the root challenge. Now that you have a free and clear property, if there was another individual in there who his name did not on any safety patrol pieces of paper, such as like compliance or pardon me, deeds, then what you're gonna want to do is super simple. Just follow the code enforcement circumstances. I'm telling you guys, code enforcement is not your friends, but they got a rule book. You just gotta do what's in the rule book. You just gotta read. A lot of people don't read. Like, I see contracts, they don't read. Like, the numbers, they don't make sense. Why do I see a $75,000 property that needs $50,000 worth of work, and they are looking for it to get $125,000? I don't get it. Don't understand it. Don't want to understand it. How can you get the market value of a property in which you're seeking to get the same amount of value, and there's no value there? You're not making any money on the deal, for first and foremost. But people have a contract, not just posting that into the universe just to see what I can get back. Because I'm curious, like, what are you guys doing as far as getting more leads coming in? Because if you guys are holding on to deals, or you're paying market prices for properties, I'm telling you guys, if you're putting your name on that piece of paper and you're expecting another person to pay, and you're paying $125,000, the value of the property is $125,000, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Not in this market. Not in this market. Not in this market. It's not gonna work. So what are we doing? So Miss Harrison's moving. She's out of the property. It's $4,000. Got her moving. She packed up. She's down. She's gone. Mr. J. Joe, who came in, who gave you the $4,000, $5,000. He sees the value at $125,000. He says a super simple fix, $5,000. She moves out the property. The $1,000 you can decide to put in the reserves. I would probably put it in reserves. And then what you need to do is start moving forward. What's the next keynote that you can do? What's the next clause? If it's the property value that he sees at $150,000, we need to get a deal on it. At best, we need it at 60, 70 cents on the dollar. So let's get it for close to, at best, 70, 75,000. That's where I'm at. My numbers, I don't know about you, 70, 75,000 is where my numbers are. I think that's a pretty good price. So even if it's at 70, I make $5,000, and I want to be at $5,000. If I need some pictures to the property, I'm going to do a deeper discount on it, and we're going to reverse engineer. Mr. J. Joe, hey, I think you're really onto something with this property here. I like to put people in the position like, you're really smart. You're super smart. I want you to think that. I know that you're super smart, because if we're interacting, we're intellecting, currency only engages with currency is exchanged the most. I'm just stating that's just a profound statement that we're just going to place there. So Mr. J. Joe says it's $150,000 of value of that property. He thinks he can get a good higgling of, or that he can get a good higgling of a deal working with you. He's saving time, energy, and efforts. He's not going out to any auctions. He's not putting any earnest money deposit down, no $5,000 to $7,000, in which he's going to pay to bid on a property, in which he's going to have to bid up and increase incrementally for a property in which he's never seen the insides of, and you're bringing them this property at the very bare minimum of low barrier to entry, in which he can then encapsulate the actual equity that's inside of that property by simply investing his money into you. You are with the time, energy, and efforts in what you're exchanging currency wise. And then when you're exchanging it wisely, you move yourself out as the middleman, and you just make the ends connect. Super simple, straight to the point, guys. Miss Sarah Sue needed $5,000 to remove out of the property. You found the $5,000, Mr. J. Joe. He was already bidding down at their auctions. Super simple fix. Here's what we're or remedy. Here's what we're gonna do. We don't need to fix it because this is not broken. Here's a remedy for it. What we're gonna then do is, now Miss Sarah Sue is ready to move out of the property. Hey, Miss Sarah Sue, you think a good $50,000 would work for you on this property? Ah, yes, there's taxes that's owed on the property. Oh, so there's more to it. So we need to do some work. So follow me here. The numbers are where the key of a deal breaker is always. If you're not engineering, reverse engineering your deals from close to start, from the very ends to inception. I'm not talking about from beginning to end. I'm not talking about just going out and speaking to individuals and getting them aroused and saying, hey, look, this is a great idea to put the property under contract for $50,000 and maybe we can come out with something later on at the end, and maybe 30 days from now, I might buy the property, I might not buy the property, and have equitable interest locked up. That's guys, that's not meritable at all. That's just poor servitude, guys, or with servitude, rather, lack of better words. So, what are we gonna do to retain all of this information that I'm giving you guys? Take notes. Here we go. Here's what we're gonna do. Number one, Mr. J. Joe is then you're gonna use other people's money. So Mr. J. Joe is your buyer. So you're gonna, number one, reverse engineer the aspect of what is a buyer. You are the buyer. Number two, you are going to use the very fundings that of solving the root challenge. Number two, you're solving the root challenge. What is the root challenge? She needs to move out of the property. There's taxes that's owed against the property. It's 15, 20,000, whatever that is owed against the property. You need to insert an extra 35,000, or you need to ensure that you have a buffering somewhere in there, somewhere for working to. That's $100,000. Of $150,000 is where the property is at. You need to be at somewhere at 75, so you need to drop the property down to like 15, 20 grand. The math is where the means is. It's the meat and potatoes. It's the gravy of this here video. You know why? I am really honed into how a lot of individuals can use all the mystical numbers, statistics. 60, 70 cents on the dollar sounds really good until you get into the bare fruit and bare roots. So anyhow, the objective is to solve the property owner challenge, and you want to offer based on what they need their challenges. So at the rate they're willing to solve their challenges, at the rate you'll get the deal. So when they accept on the deal, you want to make sure they're aware of what their providence is. So just keep it super simple. Consider what they are gaining from it and what you can gain, right? I consider that control or ownership of the property is fair in the means that for $5,000 and $15,000 that you could be placed into a new individual into the property, and at best, even if you needed to, even if you wanted to, really, just frankly, you can probably find a good means of a tenant who would want to buy that property for the price that Mr. J. Joe thinks the value of the property that is $150,000. You can cover the taxes with that. You can start moving the ball forward. You got a free and clear property. You got a tenant in there now. You're paying it. It's renting it out for $1,500. The mortgage is let's say there was no mortgage, right? Let's not even put a mortgage on it. It's just a flat out property in which you just collected $15,000 on, and that's before tax. Guys, it's super simple. Let's not overcomplicate. Here's why. Here's number three. So, number one, we've got the fact that we're the buyer. Number two, we got the inclusion that we are solving the root challenge. Well, number three, we might as well just have rightfully had been that Miss Sarah Sue's, now that her problem is solved, what's the next move? Getting the deal to closing. So here's what we're gonna do. We need to find an exit strategy. Number three, keep it super simple, right? Three. He did it in three. Step back. Times three, right? Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to assure that we have an actual end buyer. Is our tenant in the position to actually close? Reverse engineer. Are they in the position to close? If they're not in a position to close, we need to get them there. You know how many property management companies that are out there who are seeking to continuously have an on-time tenant? And here at Even Express Homes has their own property management company. Here's what we do. We place our tenants in a position that if they have rough credit, gutter credit, or get them in a position where they have good, better, or good and or excellent credit. Okay, through means of not just credit repair, but actually credit establishment. I mean, like, we're not using softwares like NAV for businesses. I mean, that'd be a great idea. It's idealistic. However, I mean, guys, you're dealing with instruments. Get creative. You can get creative in those four corners. You know how creative you can get? You can probably place these individuals in this circumstance where everyone else is going on doing the wholesale thing. I think that's pretty good. I think you guys should wholesale, because I think this is exactly what wholesaling is. I think wholesaling is doing more so of the works that a lot of individuals, others won't do, such as buy and hold. Buy and hold individuals will buy the properties and don't want to really do too much work to the property, so they're just going to place tenants in them and then rent them out until they're cash flowing. And if they can make $300-400 a month, they're happy because guess what? The bills are paid, the tenant's on time. But what about the individuals who are actually paying on time and not becoming buyers? And they have to hit a rough patch, and then and of course, GC loves to. You guys know I love to reference GC a lot because this is why. Because he says stuff like this: "It is better to own 100 units than it is to have 100 doors." You know why? Because during a recession, as we are in a great recession, right? Because of an inflation like this, if you have 40%, 40 to 50% of your doors, half of your doors, may as well say, half of your doors are already closed. Guess what? You still own that one building, guys. One building, right? And you guys know my objective is 100,000 units. This is the reason why. Because single family homes is going to get me through the gateway door, but the commercial buildings is where I'm getting to. Building momentum towards the end goal is simple. If the individuals inside of the property have a means, and I gotta end it here because we have another 24 minutes at best that I can get this information over, and 23 minutes, my apologies, that we can get this information over, and we got to make our phone calls this evening because I wanted this out first so that when this is clipped and the videos are in, you guys get this good piece of information here too. So here's why. So what we're going to do is we're going to get them established, get their credit established, place them in the positions that we are assuring that we can collect in the property management settings. We can collect on them building their credit. Why? Because cash flow is king, but credit is better. You can have cash, but cash is depleting like an iceberg, which is just absolutely worthless if you're spending it on silly things. However, if you're investing it in real estate, on things that appreciate in value, such as a building, such as windows, such as doors, the price of a house didn't get any more expensive. There's just more loads of cash that are attained to that property. Nothing changed about the property. You might do a few updates or several updates for that matter to upkeep the property at the latest year, as it is 2024 is the recording of this video. And you may bring them up to 2024 speed, but you know what? Yeah, here's a real tosser for you guys. You are also buying assets that are appreciating in value, and those appreciation and valued items are the keynotes to your business because the tenants are going to continuously pay pay down the bill, whether it be through Miss Sarah Sue, who just outed the property. The property may still be in her name. You just got control of it. You don't have ownership. As a J. Joe may have the title of the property, whatever the scenario may be at that point. What I want to key and hone into is while they are still tenancies, you are still assuring that the closing of the deal. So this is more for my sophisticated individuals who are in real estate, and Burr sounds like this is what this is. It is. You are buying the property. You are rehabbing the property in a sense that the tenant's doing work to the property. You are refinancing when the tenants are continuously renting the property and renting and then refinancing the property at a later date. And then of course keeping the taxes paid on time with the property. And then of course whatever means are obtained with that. Super simple. Here's why. I want to keep this fundamental because I know a lot of individuals get lost in headspace. So just want to keep these short, discreet, and probably the next like 15-20 minutes, we're going to get into phone calls. So the reason why I really hone into tenants is because a lot of tenants, especially in today's society, are actually owners of these homes. They are actually the owners of the homes. Because how many times do you know that there's landlords that have over 10 homes, and you only need 5 to be cash flow successful and stable, right? Or just at best stable. I hear all the 10s and you need 100s and you need 1,000 doors. That sounds great. It sounds great. Okay. Here's where I want to hone in at. I want to hone in that I'm not needing to go out and find 1,000 different tenants. I don't need to go and make a boatload of cash on our applications. $100 for an application, $50 or whatever the deal. I don't do the anything, but I know that that's generally where the numbers are. And I don't knock it. I don't knock where people do this. It's fine. This application fees is just like $50, but just it's kind of interesting that you're paying $50. When all things to be considered, you can find tenants for less than that and just get them in the property. But I mean, hey, look, if you've already got a tenant in the property, you might as well just keep them in the property. I mean, especially if they're already occupying. Occupying means just tenancy, just you're occupying it, right? Keeps the space clean. The means of this is, and this is why I really hone on number 3, keeping the tenant in there. The tenant is the key to assurance that your real estate property is placed in a better predicament and is gentrified because they know the common area. They understand how the market is, and they can give you analyzed data of that report or that market and report it to you so that you can also assure in a more depth of a sense that you are now going to continuously cash flow. And if you need to remove the tenant out and place a separate tenant in there based off of performance. And many times there's individuals that are placed in the properties that are not properly performing. I get that. That's why late payments occur. That's why they're a thing, and that's why the whole pay on the 5th day kind of thing is the real rent day. That's a thing. Those are all pondered upon individuals not being able to perform. It's just reality. It's what it is. The best parts of it is that if you are in that position, you can find better housing because you can now shuffle them around. So you're going out, you're creating deals, you're solving challenges, you're placed in a position where you are dealing with multiple housings. Now you can shuffle the deck a little bit. You place yourself in a better position, whereas a lot of individuals are only dealing with wholesale deals. Okay, I'm a wholesaler deal. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna go and get a Mr. J. Joe. I'm gonna get a buyer. Once you get a buyer, you're gonna call up 1,000 sellers and you're gonna market that property. Yes, I said that for 35 videos. Yes, I said it for 35 videos. Why though? Because once you get the fundamentals down, as I've said many times over, is that you can get the fundamentals down, but you gotta capitalize on those properties that are not, especially in a market like this, where you can actually gain more by just simply having individuals in properties and placing them. Okay, what do you do with the property that's completely empty for my realtors? Best way to sell a property is what? If it's empty, correct? Okay. What are you gonna do when that property is sitting on the market like it is now, where the days of the market's at 90 days? It's where you start using your intellect. You use your intelligence. You could sell it quick, try to get it offloaded because it's equitable possession. Why not just lease option the thing? I'm just curious. I mean, just asking questions here, right? It's experience, all right? I just want to ask these questions because if you're only selling the property, your own main focus is just to sell the property, you're missing out on a lot. You got to put the investor hat on. You want to put the realtor hat on. You put the sales hat on, the marketing hat on, you put all these different hats on. Just put the investor hat on. Let's put that one on. Fit it on. All right, snap it on. Reason why, and I'm ending it here. The reason why is because you did not want to step out of the normalities of a realtor, and I get it. So I'm just here to impress upon you guys that our family, that you all are best means of your time doing what works best for you. Especially if you guys are watching me, you've done this before, you've done real estate or done some transactions, then you continuously do what works for you. I'm talking to the individuals who are just getting this thing and want to get some who need not fast cash, who's not in it for fast cash. I'm not even, you guys get exit right too. All the fast cash guys get out of here too. You guys gotta go. This is not fast cash. It's get paid fast kind of. It's better than drug money. It's pay the bill, keep the roof over your head, pay the bills, keep food on the table. Okay, is that fair? This is replace your 9 to 5, 10 to 10, and overwork, underpaid, and having a steady income. This is what this is. solve the challenge of the property owner in the means in which that you are gaining the full on ability to cash a revenue from it. If you are in the position to find a buyer, and I'm telling you, you know, if your cell phone is like an ATM machine, you would use it in this means that I'm telling you, because the next 10 individuals you speak to, you're going to look at it because you're going to reflect back on the I Am Urban Malachi-RESEAN show, and you're going to think about it, or you're going to ponder the thought of it. And it's going to occur to you that just maybe, you may need to increment those in which you circulate with. So when you are out in the real estate market and you're marketing for sellers or marketing for individuals who have burdens in which you are looking to solve in exchange for control ownership of the property, it's not just a wholesale deal. It's not just I'm gonna put the property under agreement for $50,000 and assign it over to Mr. J. Joe. It's a, hey, Mr. J. Joe, I think this might be a great idea. You want to put $50,000 down, and maybe this might be something of worth to you, equitable interest. The $50,000 just became real equitable interest. You know how? Because now, if you want to go and rent that property out, Mr. J. Joe can buy the property for $50,000. Cut and call the losses there, right? You still got if the property is valued at $150,000, you still got $100,000 worth of equity in the property. If it needs $50,000 worth of work to it, guess what? You guys, you only need a 580 credit score, or approximately about a 580 credit score to do a cash out refi. You know what cash out refi is? I won't get too far into details with cash out refi, but you can refinance of what that note is, which means there's a new buyer that can come in and buy Mr. J. Joe out, and that'll be your new buyer and dealing with the property. There's ways of getting this done. There's methodologies. There's also a means in which, if you're renting this property out, there's also programs such as DSR loans. I won't get too far in the details of those either, in which will actually buy the business that's dealing with the property, like such as Airbnb. There's means, there's ways, and there's ways, right? And of course, while I'm mentioning these, there's going to be more videos, guys. I can only get these videos out but one at a time. So where are we to go when there's a property, Miss Sarah Sue, who needs to move like yesterday? What about a Steve Oken? Steve is moving to Texas, but he can't sell his house, which is underwater. He's got $125,000 remaining on the note. The property's only worth $150,000. It's $25,000 worth of equity. Can we find somebody to actually? It's going to be a little challenging, but I can tell you what you can find. You could place a tenant inside of that property. Vaguely get an agreement with Mr. Steve, especially if he's got $750 of a rental that you can actually go and rent out for, guys. Even if you're making an extra $300-$400, it's probably gonna be a little bit more than what you're making now, especially if you're making less than six figures annually. You can take this and do it times 10, and you'd be making 6 figures in a month. It's all wash, rinse, repeat. It's structuring the deals. All right, so I don't have much time left. That is something that I want you guys to really deep dive into as we come across more videos. Just hone that in. Structuring deals is something that a lot of individuals are not really honing into because it's so sweet and so juicy of $50,000 of a wholesale deal, or $20,000, which average wholesale deal is nowadays. You guys know I don't call them wholesalers. I call them wholesale deals. You're just getting in. You're getting in between the transaction, in and out of the transaction. It's super simple. Yeah. But are you solving the property challenge? Yeah, well, immediacy, but neither is the lottery. The lottery saves no one's life. Just giving it straight. Wholesaling is great. It's great. It's an exit strategy. It's good. I think you should wholesale. I think you should do a lease option. I think you should. These are a lot of thoughts, a lot of pondering of decisions you can do. But the real methodology is getting the going is good. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can structure a deal tonight. I'm going to be going off my phone this evening. We are going to be Guys, I'm getting an upgrade. You guys know that? I didn't say that, did I? Did I say I was getting an upgrade? I said we're doing some upgrades. I didn't say upgrades. Darn. All right, we're getting some upgrades in, guys. So we're gonna get all new platform. Oh, I did tell you guys that in an earlier video. You guys can go check the video out. I told you guys that we're probably gonna have to get a new studio and some more stuff, some more better lightings and whatnot. I'm gonna start sprucing it up around here. Starting to like the realm we're in. I think this transcending is getting even more parabolic than I suspected. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to use. You guys know my favorite sites. I'm going to use. Bear with me one moment. Okay, great. Came at a side view like that. Nice. Have to start doing videos at the side like this. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This way. All right. That'll work. All right, and we'll just clip that out of the finalization. So here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna get on the phone and we're going to call up and set up some deals with sellers. Of course, I'm gonna be coming out of Zillow. Short, sweet, straight to the point with you. Well, not short at all. It's nothing short about it. Which very direct. I'm going to let's find deals in a market in which we can call. I'm thinking more in this area. And I'm going to call individuals. We're going to see if we can maybe set up a project property, whereas we want to build out, not an Airbnb. We're not doing Airbnb here, guys. We're doing, we are looking for the individuals who absolutely want to sell their home, have trouble selling their home. Market is not best for them because they want to do it themselves. They want to have control. So we like those individuals. However, they want to be in a position where they can cash flow. How else best to do that other than a lease option, placing the tenant in there, catching some drift? Seller finance, guys. I love this kind of market. Recessions are like seller finance markets because you actually solve the property owner's challenge through a lease option. It's a temporary. It's better than what a band-aid of a wholesale deal would do. Because of course those things do come off when the adhesive get dry. So here we go.
Call has been forwarded. Voicemail.
All right.
The call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person.
All right, so that one's going to voicemail. And I'm just scrolling and calling certain individuals because what I want to do is I want to see where they are. If they're living in the property, what will it take? What do you need to move? What are you seeking to do with the property? You guys know me, especially if it's in a pre-foreclosure site. I want to see what stipulations are in the mortgage. If there's a means to keeping the mortgage afloat, or even of a rescission in that manner, if there's any wrongdoings that are on the behalf of a service provider, we need to know about it. We don't want to assume things. We want to know what's genuinely actuality. Not every property is dealing with a pre-foreclosure. Not every property has a stipulation that was in default. So we want to see if it is monetary of the challenge that they were facing, or is there a stipulation in their life that they're chasing and challenged. It's all in keeping the upheavalness. Sometimes it's just talking with honey on your tongue. You attract more bees in that manner.
To an automatic voice message system.
You attract more bees with honey than you do vinegar.
Your call has been.
All right, call 3 times. We're gonna call 3 times, and then once we finish calling, we don't get an answer.
Automatic voice message system.
We don't get an answer. We leave them a voicemail. After we leave them a voicemail, then what we're gonna do is super simple. We're gonna shoot them a text, let them know of our interest. Then after we leave them a text, voicemail, phone call, voicemail, text, shoot them an email, and then door knock, and then of course finally, I'm gonna send them a flyer in the mail. Short, sweet, straight to the point.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 70256967770 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello, my name is Malachi-RESEAN. I'm with Eva Mary Express Homes. I am calling in concerns of your property at 7847 Sun Lemon Court in Las Vegas. Curious if you're still interested in selling the property, as I'm still purchasing a few more properties in this area. If you would like to discuss more of your options, best case contact number for me is 202-878-3736. Once again, that number is 202-878-3736. It'd be greatly appreciated, and I hope to hear from you in due time. Take care. All right. Now, we're going to drop this number or this information here inside of our calendar. Let's get straight to it. Now, the reason it means of this is to assure that they are aware that there's just more options than just selling. You guys know that you guys can take a little more money for your property. This works. It's the beauty of being a buyer, being the buyer. You create the deal. I want to thank you guys and do the housekeeping. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you guys for viewing. Most certainly appreciate all of the support you guys are bringing in. You guys are great. You guys are rock stars. I love it. All right, on to the next one. And we're actually going to set these up to the teams to let the team know that we already spoke with these several individuals. So let's just figure it that way. Alrighty, much better. All do this one here. All right, so this one says FSBO Tom showing apartment 15 appointment 15,000 offered to buyers, upgrade off the price or upgrade done moving in. It's giving me realtor vibes. So I'm just gonna give him a call, see what we are gathering here. So much more fun when you create the deal and then tossing the deal to someone else.
Please leave your Please leave your message. Please leave your message for Tom Buck.
Good evening, Mr. Tom. This is Malachi with Even Mayor Express Homes calling with concerns of your property located at 5964 Turin Circle. Calling just curiosity if you were still interested in selling the property. I'm still purchasing a few properties in the area. I would love this to be one of our purchases. You can give us a call back. Best case contact number for me is 202-878-3736. Once again, the number is 202-878-3736. We greatly appreciate it. Hope to hear from you in due time. Thank you. Bye. All right. Yeah, it gave me realtor vibes, and then once I noticed that there was a realtor involved, I was like, I love realtors. Look, realtors are great. I'm telling you guys can get deals done with realtors. Don't sleep on realtors. Like skinny margins, but thick rapport. Just saying. All right, last one. Only because I like this house, and I'm actually interested in buying this one. Gosh, I say that about all my houses.
Hi, you've reached 172.
Yeah. All right, that was an agent tip. All right, guys. So the market's saturated with a bunch of realtors in the market that just called. For whatever reason, don't know. We'll find out. We'll do some more deep diving. That's why I love to know my areas. So that one will do for this video here. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm going to do a Q&A tomorrow. Question and answers, strictly question and answers. If you guys have any questions and answers while I'm doing some driving around, so you guys are going to be able to toggle around be along with me while I toggle around the map of certain areas, so you guys are going to get to see me in real live time. We might do a special tomorrow. I might do a 2-hour special. I haven't done a 2-hour in quite some time. They've condensed to 1 hour where I've been wanting them at. Guys, could you believe these videos are actually supposed to be at like quarter of an hour? Literally, like massive impressiveness. So without further more, I hope this was of value to you guys. I hope that I really honed into the 3 strategics of actually the insertions of how this works in reverse engineering and how this really should go. I did not create it. I did not create it. It's just tradition. It's just opposite of tradition, guys. And doing completely what the traditions are is just boring. Boring money is best, but sometimes you got to spruce it up. So I want to give you guys something that is more of a invigorating and something that is true to what you're doing. You guys got to stand for something, or you're gonna fall for anything. Especially if you're telling individuals you're gonna lock your agreement up, or lock the property up for 30 days, and you don't have any intentions in actually buying the property. I don't really believe that's ethical at all. So we're solving property owners' challenge. We are dealing with boxes with tops on them, with individuals inside of them, and we're solving the challenges that they're facing. We're taking the burdens off their shoulders, guys. We're dealing with real people with real problems that have to make a decision. They make a decision on themselves, but we give them options. Sometimes that we're not always the best option, and we may have to refer them to another individual party that can actually solve their challenge. However, it's just when they're dealing with us, we're placing them in the proper position where they can actually are in a better position than where we found them. So in the guidelines of where we found them, for lack of better words, my apologies. So I am seeking to assure that we continue these with the fluorescence that we've been having. So the successors in this will be having some guests. Remember, guys, we are still meeting on Fridays and Saturdays and Tuesdays. I'll say that in the proper sense. Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays are going to be at 7. Fridays are going to be at 7. And then, Tuesdays at 7. Yeah, Tuesdays at 7. Fridays at 7. And then 9. No, we're just gonna check the calendar. We're just gonna check the calendar. It's just easier that way. Super simple, guys. My calendar scheduling has become rampant. I was absolutely loving how this all transpired, and I'm saying that in a proactive sense, not in a past sense. I love this process. There's nothing more enjoyable than the process or the destination. But once you get to the destination, then what do? You did all that work just to be. All right, so it's going to be on. Yes. Oh, okay. So I was correct. So Tuesdays 7, Fridays 7. Nope, Fridays 10, and then Saturdays are going to be at 7 a.m. But that's for leadership training, so not leadership. So for as far as it goes with the actual trainings, it's at 9. So we have an early training. So my apologies. So run that back for all my good folks, right? That are adherents. So Fridays are permanent. Start at Tuesday. Tuesdays, we're starting at 7 p.m. You guys are new onboarding guys. You guys never had a deal done in your life. You just need some extra. You need extra hand. Tuesdays. Fridays, we have more of a leadership training. We do leadership. We actually build maximums of leadership here, guys. We actually show you how to lead and provide the value to your team. It's not much needed in this economy, and I much need to provide it more to individuals of my age, because I believe there's a lot of individuals that are my age that are amazing leaders. You just need a bit more critiquing, and I believe sharpening iron amongst other sharp-ironed individuals will create a absolute ironclad of a team. So, and if we can do this in the proper sense and progress in the manner in which I believe would be best, is to continuously to pass forward the torch to other individuals, and also having the resources available, because not all one way or as everyone doing this, but however, they are providing the ability to do it in the means of experience. That's how that works. And then at 10 o'clock, we're going to round it off. So that starts at 9. Then 10 o'clock, we round it off. And then we have a full-on group setting for everyone, la-di-da-di, everybody. in which this is now for to do the main training for you guys to start to really gain the insights of real estate, some stuff that you guys may have never